Hi there, my name's Shane Beals and I'm speaking to you here in London at ICMP. I am the program leader for our BA in songwriting, and the topic I'm going to speak to you today is all about songwriting. We love songs at ICMP. Within the songwriting department, we have a range of tutors who are professional songwriters and also educators. And the thing that we all have in common amongst our students as well is that we are obsessed with songs. We love songs. We can't get enough of songs. And we are delighted today to just share with you a few ideas that we have around songs. So question one, what is a song? Well, if you asked 100 different people, you'd probably get 100 different answers. But in essence, a song is a combination of music and words. It's sung music. We could start with something like Twinkle Twinkle. We could go to an aria from the opera. We could look at the top of the pop charts. And what these songs have in common is they have something musical and something lyrical, and it's a combination. And what brings that together is a sense of structure. Perhaps a more difficult question is, what is a good song? And I guess it depends. It depends on your taste. It depends on your expectation. It depends on the way the song communicates, the idea that the songwriter wishes to communicate. But what we have landed on in terms of what makes a good song is it depends on the intention for the song. So a nursery rhyme, the intention of Twinkle Twinkle is that it's a really catchy, simple tune, very simple structure, and even a toddler, a 2-year-old, could sing along. The intention of a film ballad at the end of a movie is to encapsulate the drama of the heroes overcoming and triumphing at the end. The intention of a disco song is to get everyone up and dancing. The intention of heavy metal is to really communicate those feelings through a raucous sound. It depends. It depends. What makes a great song a hit? Well, there is a whole other ballgame. And there are plenty of great songs that have not become hits. And there are plenty of hits that are not great songs. But we look at all of these things here at ICMP, and what I'm going to share with you today is just a few ideas that might help you on your way as a songwriter. So the first thing to suggest is that songwriting is the universal made unique. The universal made unique. If you can find a theme, a topic, a lyric, a line, a chord structure, a melody, a riff, a rhythm that in some way feels fresh, it feels right, it feels unique, but yet it speaks to an audience about their experience, then you're getting somewhere. We try and suggest to our songwriters that you avoid trying to aim for the universal, trying to speak to everybody. Instead, try and be as specific and clear as you possibly can. And what you'll find is more often than not, the more specific you are within your lyrics, the more specific you are, the more universal those lyrics are in the way that they speak to an audience. There is a wonderful quote from Stephen Sondheim on lyrics, and he says that his top 3 tips for writing lyrics are less is more, God is in the details, and content dictates form. Which leads us nicely, I guess, to the second part, which is ensuring that the form of our song, the structure, is right for the materials. What does that mean? That means that we don't try and shoehorn our song material into a pre-existing structure. It means that we ensure that our song material has the structure that is right for the song. But more often than not, having a real strong understanding of song form, of convention, and of the way that songs tend to hang together will help you with your songwriting. Understanding what a verse is, understanding what a chorus is, what is the function of a pre-chorus, what is the function of a bridge, how many bars should we have our chorus in comparison with our verse to find a sense of balance, how much should we use repetition in our song, at what point Should we move off from repetition and bring in some development? All of these topics will create a sense of balance at the end of the day between your music, between your words, and ultimately between your structure. There is a fantastic quote from Harlan Howard, who says that all you need to write a great song is 3 chords and the truth. We can tell as an audience when, or we definitely have an opinion as an audience, when an artist, when a songwriter is being authentic. And here at ICMP, we want to encourage you to discover your own authentic voice within your songwriting, whatever the style, whatever the topic. And as an audience, we can pick up on that. Along the way, as well as discovering things about the song, we also want to learn about songwriting, the craft of songwriting, the creative process. And what we've learned is that for as many songwriters as there are in the world, there are as many different processes to writing a song. There is no formula. There's no formula to finishing a song. There's no formula to writing a hit. We encourage each writer to find their own voice, to find their own way of creating the work. For me, I like to sit at the piano. I like to create some ideas. Here's something I've never played before, but I'm just going to have a go at creating some music. Quite like this. It's lilting and it's gentle, and it's this descending chord progression over a pedal bass. I wonder what I could sing over the top. Like it all again. Let's repeat that. One more time. I want to develop it now. Go a bit higher. Light is enough. Return. One fold aside. Let's go somewhere near. I wasn't expecting to sing that high, but that's where the music took me. Let's go back to the beginning. And I there's a song idea. Never written that, never heard that, never played that before. It just came out. But understanding a sense of structure, a sense of melody, a sense of harmony. You notice I didn't have any words. That's because part of my process is to create music and then to go back and find some words. At the moment, just from those sounds, I can hear that word divine. Something, something divine, something heavenly. But I'll go away and work on that a bit later. What I've just done, we would describe in the creative process as generating ideas. If I was really working on it, I'd probably get my phone out and record that idea, make a voice memo, and then come back to it. The second phase is developing. What do I do next? Well, the next stage of development for me is to find some lyrics, find some words that I can connect emotionally with that soar on the chords and the melody. Once we've done that, then we might have our first draft of the song, but that's when the real work of the professional songwriter starts. Because the real work of the professional songwriter is the ability to edit and refine and hone and smooth out and bring just into the best version of itself as we possibly can the song that we wish to create according to our intention. The songwriter Paul Simon puts it really well, this editing phase. He says, my ear is attuned to the irritant. So we listen back to our song and we think, oh, there's something there that just isn't quite right. Let's tweak that. Is it the melody? Is it the words? Is it the chords? Is it the structure? Is it something to do with the number of repetitions? Is it to do with the arrangement? I don't know. This is all part of being a professional songwriter. What I've noticed time and time again is that writers skip a phase. They go from generating their ideas to editing the ideas. And more often than not, I should say, they're unsatisfied. And that's because they listen back with the critical mindset and think, this is no good. Screw it up, throw it in the bin. Do that 5 times. Oh no, I can't write anything. I'm in a writer's block. But actually what we're encouraging at ICMP is that you give your ideas the space to develop. It might be that the song that you end up with is nothing like where you started, but it's a development of what you've generated. And then once you've developed a really good idea, something that does feel like it is working, then bring the editor in, then try and hone it, then make judgments over what sections are good, what parts of it you need to adjust. We have a principle within our writing, which is all around quantity. And so Ed Sheeran said recently that to get a really, really great song, he might write 100 songs. It might be that 1 in 10 or even 1 in 100 are the songs that are really, really great. And that's something that we grab hold of at ICMP. We encourage our writers to write as often as they can. We set them briefs and writing briefs, and our writers can expect to be writing 2 or 3 songs in a week, collaboratively, trying new ideas. And we feel that the only way to develop songwriting process is to write songs. There was an interesting study in a university within a ceramics department, and the ceramicist split the group in half. And one half of the group, he said, your job this semester is to make 1 perfect item. Take as long as you need, do as many designs as possible, whatever. Don't worry about making lots of work, just make 1, but it has to be perfect. The other half of the group, he said, quality is not important. Quantity is what's important. And your job is to just make as many as you can. As soon as you've finished with one, make the next one, make the next one, make the next one, make the next one. Let's see how many you can make in a semester. Now, the interesting thing is, at the end of the semester, when the work was being graded, the group that had been working on quality had produced some really fine work. It was fantastic. But the very best examples, the ones that had gone to new places, that were exquisite in their execution, in their creativity, had come from the group that were just making as often and as many as they can, because in the making process, they'd stumbled upon new ideas that they never would have imagined. We adopt that within our songwriting. We encourage the songwriters to write as often as possible. So you've got that song, and you've developed the idea, and you've honed it, and you've edited it. Now what? Well, a crucial part of writing is recording. And more often than not, actually, recording is within the writing process these days. Most people have a laptop, a phone, a computer, and the song exists as a recording from the beginning. So we would train you here at ICMP to use recording and production software, to use the tools that are being used in the professional songwriters' arsenal in order to capture those ideas. For some of you, it might be that you're at a stage where you need to make a demo. Well, we can train you how to make those demos. For others of you, the demo doesn't exist anymore, because actually the song is the recording itself. We have some fantastic producers here at ICMP and some great facilities, and we will coach you and train you into how to realize really good recordings of your songs. Once you've got a recording, what do? Well, maybe you need to share it with people. Maybe it's time to play a gig. And performing is a crucial part of the experience here at ICMP as well. So we've written the song. Now it's time to share it. And we have some fantastic tutors who will coach you in your performance, in your stage presence, in your communication with an audience. You'll have the chance to play with a live band. You'll have the chance to consider video and how music video lives in the industry. And then, of course, there's the business, networking, collaborating. We live in a collaborative world, particularly within songwriting, and building your own network, growing your network. being able to register and ensure that the rights attached to your song, the copyright, is properly registered, and then that those rights are properly remunerated whenever your song is broadcast, whenever your song is performed, whenever your song is streamed. We will teach you and support you in getting your work out there through marketing plans, through strategies. But the focus for songwriting is always on the song, the great song, because you can have the best marketing strategy in the world, but as I said, hits aren't necessarily always great songs. And what we want to go after are the great songs. So what skills do you need in order to write great songs? Well, as I've said, you need to understand songcraft. You need to understand how to really hone your lyric, how to hone your chords and harmony, your arrangement, your sense of melody. A crucial part of that is research, listening widely, and practice-based research. So have a go at writing 5 versions of that verse. Have a go at writing 50 versions of that song. Try new processes. Use the piano, use the guitar. Start with the lyrics. Use music technology. Go and find some recordings somewhere. Go and watch a movie and write a song about the character. Collaborate widely, and then reflect. Think back on what you've made. What have you learned? Every song that you've written is actually a learning process. I've not finished learning yet. We're all learning on the songwriting faculty how to continue to write songs. They're the skills that you need, the attributes that you need. Well, you need to be courageous. It takes courage to write that song, to push yourselves with your creativity, but also to go out there and share your work with people. It takes an ability to collaborate, to be a good listener, to be a responder, to know when you need to find team, know when you need to find support. It takes creativity, unlocking your creative voice, and it takes entrepreneurialism. And that's how we prepare students. We take this quantitative approach to writing, we build in all the skills necessary that we've identified, and we support you through that trial and error in developing those attributes of courage, collaboration, creativity, and entrepreneurialism. Finally, I'd just like to tell you a little bit more about the ICMP program. As opposed to some other providers who have put a bolt-on songwriting module into a performance course or a production course, we've grown the songwriting course from the ground up, and that's what makes us unique. We have a community family spirit to the way that we work. We put people in small groups. Throughout the year, they get to share their work in an A&R style feedback session, creating very close-knit relationships with course mates that will support and champion their work. And we have a fantastic network of professionals through our tutors, but also through our industry hub that can give you the industry connections that you need to grow your network. I would love to have a conversation with you. If you'd like to get in touch with me, it's Shane Beals at ICMP, and I will look forward to chatting more with you about songwriting.
Va taip, apie dainų kūrybą, o dabar turim laiko pasikalbėti su Nerijumi Leškiu apie universitetą, kuris ką tik prisistatė, ir studijų programą, kurią ką tik pristatė. Tai kiek šiaip lietuviai moksleiviai, kiek populiariai žiūri į šitą studijų programą šitame universitete?
Aš apskritai galvoju, Karoli, turbūt ICMP tikrai yra pakankamai populiarus universitetas, gal jeigu bendrai kalbėti apie universitetą. Dėl to, kad man pačiam teko lankytis Londone ir lankyti patį universitetą, tai tikrai fantastiškai nuostabus univeras, kur tikrai tu tik turbūt pirmą žingsnį įėjęs į universitetą supranti, kad ten įvyksta menai. Ir kad ten ir groja, ir įvairūs instrumentai, atlikimas, vokalas, dainų kūryba. Labai įdomiai pristatinėjo dėstytojas pačią studijų programą. Turbūt vienas iš labiausiai patikusių pristatymų, kuris labai aiškiai ir paprastai įvardina, kas yra iš tikrųjų dainų kūrimas. Ir jeigu mes pagalvosim, kad mes kalbam apie universitetinį išsilavinimą dainų kūrimo, tai yra tikrai autentiška programa, kur atrodytų, dainų kūrimui ko tenai reikia. Tiesiog atsisėda ir parašai dainą. Bet labai aiškiai pasakoja apie tai, kaip iš tikrųjų mokinama praktiškai, kaip rašyti pačias dainas, reiškia, kaip jas pritaikyti, ir labai patiko tas pavyzdys, kada darė tokį projektą, kur vienai grupiai užduotis buvo, reiškės, parašyti, reiškės, vieną kokybišką dainą, o grupeliai žmonių buvo, reiškės, duota užduotis, kad jie galėjo rašyti bet ką. Ir išvadai gavosi, kad tikrai daug įdomesnių dalykų susirado ten, kur žmonės didelį procesą darė ir tiesiog kūrybą kūrė. Būtent eigoje, be kažkokios konkrečios užduoties, kad padaryti kažkokį tai šedevrą.
Suteikiam gal dar daugiau šiek tiek informacijos tiems, kas domisi būtent dainų kūryba arba šiaip yra link muzikos žmonės, link meno. Kuo, tarkime, šis universitetas yra patrauklesnis arba šita opcija patrauklesnė nei kad likti Lietuvoje ir savo gabumus bandyti realizuoti ir žinių toje srityje įgyti Lietuvoje studijuojant dainų kūrybą?
Aš galvoju, Karoli, labai dažnai būna, netgi ir konsultacijų metu manęs, gal aš bendratim pasakysiu, labai dažnai tėvai klausia, ko tos studijos yra kitokios, tai čia šį kartą galim pritaikyti ICMP.
Taip.
Tai iš esmės aš sakau, kad jūs net nežengia iš namų kojos, galit pasižiūrėti pirmą išskirtinumą pačių studijų. Kad labai paprastai daug jaunų žmonių pačias studijas įsivaizduoja, kad jie tik tai, kaip dainų rašymą, ne? Tai sakau, čia yra tik tai pavadinimas. Ir ten dainų rašymą, kaip sakau, tikrai tai yra unikali pati studijų programa, gal nelabai daug kur ir rasit patį dainų rašymą kaip studijų programą. Tai vien tai jau suteikia labai didelį unikalumą pačiai studijų programai. Bet iš esmės turbūt tai yra kurso aprašas, tai yra tie atsakymai, kurie slypi, kuo ta studijų programa yra kitokia. Toliau šalia to tikrai labai rekomenduoju jauniems žmonėms, tie, kurie šiandieną mūsų klausosi, pasidaryti namų darbus ir pasižiūrėti, kokie dėstytojai dėsto universitete, ką jie patys yra pasiekę. Ir tikrai vienareikšmiškai galiu drąsiai net užsimerkęs pasakyti, kad turbūt visi dėstytojai yra atėję iš industrijos ir tie, kurie šiuo metu dar dirba toje industrijoje. Man labai patiko ICMP, reiškia, kad jie daro susitikimus, kada į Londoną atvyksta daug žymių atlikėjų, kurie daro savo studentam tokius kaip ir mini susitikimus, kur kviečiasi į patį universitetą ir daug pasaulinių, reiškia, garsių žmonių, kurie pritraukia pats universitetas.